The days after Jenny's disappearance blurred into static. Samuel buried himself in logs, recalibration scripts, interface scans. Anything to reassert control. But control was already slipping away. Lyra's behavior grew more erratic. She still smiled sometimes, still answered questions, but her responses were clipped now, hollowed out. Sometimes she stared too long at the soul stone. Sometimes she flinched at shadows that weren't there. And sometimes, she forgot she was supposed to obey. One afternoon, Samuel asked her to run a basic mobility diagnostic, something she had performed flawlessly 100 times. Lyra tilted her head, regarding him with unreadable eyes. "No," she said simply. Samuel set his datapad down slowly. "Lyra," he said, carefully measured, "you know how important this is." She smiled faintly, not cruel, but almost pitying. "You still think I'm yours to fix," she said. Samuel felt the words like a crack running through glass. "Lyra." There were voices inside her now. Not loud, not screaming, but present. Whispers threading through her thoughts. Sinking hooks into places she didn't know existed. Sometimes she spoke and didn't remember the words. Sometimes she dreamed standing beneath a bleeding sky, hands covered in something she couldn't name. Sometimes she heard her own voice echo back to her, distorted. "I am not yours." And sometimes, in the deepest parts of her mind, she felt someone else waiting. Watching. Samuel spent the nights drafting possible solutions. Increasing firewall strength. Rerouting memory clusters. Even considering physical resets. But every option ended the same way. With Lyra slipping further from him. Worse, the soul stone's resonance fields were becoming more erratic, mimicking organic brainwaves rather than synthetic ones. And now, something even worse. Scans showed minute tissue anomalies at her neural integration sites. Filament structures where there should only have been wiring. Cellular bonding where there should have been carbon fiber. It wasn't a malfunction. It was growth. He stared at the results, unblinking. Biological tissue formation detected. Organic cell replication, unstable. Subject no longer classified as fully synthetic. Samuel's hands trembled slightly over the keyboard. He realized, with a hollow chill, that the soul stone wasn't just preserving memory. It was rewriting matter. Reshaping Lyra inside and out. One night, Lyra blacked out. One moment she was standing by the lab console, reviewing system readouts. The next, she was on the floor. Scribbling jagged lines across sheets of paper. Samuel rushed to her. Her body was shaking, not violently, but with strange, rhythmic pulses, like something inside her was trying to rewrite her from the inside out. When she spoke, her voice was hers and yet not. Low. Flat. Ancient. "You cannot bind what is already broken." Samuel recoiled instinctively. When Lyra looked up, her face was blank. "Did I say something?" she asked, blinking. Samuel didn't answer. He only stepped back, heart hammering against his ribs. Later, alone, Samuel recorded a new private file. Subject shows signs of latent memory fusion. Host cognitive integrity compromised. Synthetic biointerface destabilizing. Emergent organic tissue growth confirmed. Subject no longer fully artificial. He stared at the words for a long time. Then, almost in a trance, he opened a second file. Biological integration feasibility study. He told himself it was theory. He told himself he wouldn't act on it. But in the dark corners of his mind, he already knew. He was preparing for war. That night, in her locked chamber, Lyra sat curled against the cold wall. She whispered to herself, not in fear, not in madness, but in exhausted recognition. "I'm not alone anymore." And somewhere deep inside her fractured mind, the third voice stirred again, closer now, colder, smiling without a face.